What's up, everybody? We are back with another episode of the RoundTable. And y'all probably seen him here before. If not, I'm sure you probably seen him on TikTok or other social media. We have brought back the Fly Insurance Guy. And we're going to get into a hot topic tonight, as I always try to bring you. I'm going to let him introduce himself and reintroduce himself to some.
Yeah, man. Well, first of all, Sonya, I appreciate you inviting me onto the call and even just thinking about bringing me back for a second time. I know sometimes that doesn't work out that way, so I appreciate the encore, right? But yeah, you guys, my name is John Beverly. I am the Fly Insurance Guy, as I so-called monikered myself on the TikTok app. And yeah, man, hailing right now from beautiful Gaffney, South Carolina, just south of Charlotte, North Carolina, and just trying to figure out how to, have fun, make money, and make a difference, man. That's what we do every single day. Figure out the game plan and go execute. So appreciate you having me on the call today. Thank you.
I appreciate you taking time out of your schedule because I know it get busy out here.
Hey, it's busy in these streets, man. Oh my gosh. So busy.
Right. So, yeah, tonight we're going to be talking about mortgage protection unveiled. Are you really covered when it counts? Right. And so I know the fly insurance guy, he's very passionate about what he do. And this was a topic that he said has really been, tugging at him lately. And we brought it here tonight and we're just going to go into asking some questions. If you have questions in the audience, feel free to post them and we will address them live. So we're going to get right into it. So, but first, how long you said you've been in the industry?
Oh man, I've been in the industry now for about 5 years, going on 5 years for me.
Okay,
So we've
okay.
been kind of holding it strong right there, right before COVID is when we made the leap. My wife and I, we both got licensed at that time, and so we both decided to jump in this thing together. And man, it's been a whirlwind. So about 5 years in, we've been hitting it strong.
That's good. Most people don't make it past their first year, so you are way ahead of the game. Listen, we got some people that's saying, "Hey, what's up, sis?" Sakira from New Jersey. Hi, Martha from Florida. First question: can you break down what mortgage protection actually is and how it differs from the traditional mortgage protection insurance?
Yeah, man, absolutely. So listen, y'all, mortgage protection, if we want to be honest, like, hey, it's a fancy way of saying term life insurance. Let's just go ahead and make it is what it is, right? So but it is a term life insurance policy that really is there to safeguard a person's most, biggest possession in terms of their home. So what it boils down to is it basically protects your spouse or your significant other, whoever that is, any event that a tragedy happens to you, or if it happens to your significant other, that it can completely pay the mortgage off in full, or it can pay it off in, pay half of the mortgage off or pay a quarter of the mortgage off, right? It also has a few safeguards in there that we call living benefits that also protect you if you get diagnosed with illnesses and ailments like cancer, heart attack, strokes, end stage renal failure, right? If you go on dialysis, if you can't feed yourself, if you can't walk, by yourself, if you need motorized activities as far as you're moving and transportation, someone to give you your medications, etc. Those are there's safeguards inside of those policies that you have access to your money even while you're living. So it's not like that old life insurance policy that you have. Only time you can use it is when you're dead, right? So this is the big, this is the biggest difference. This is the new life insurance policy in terms of mortgage protection that protects and safeguards your home, and then also you can use it as kind of like a long-term care deal if you get diagnosed with some of those illnesses that listen, things happen, life happens,
Right.
and we need to figure out where we can come up with the money. Of course, we don't want to break the bank and crush our retirement and all that stuff to pay for those medical bills and issues. So that's essentially what mortgage protection is in a nutshell.
I know some of you, if this is your first time hearing about mortgage protection in this, this from this perspective, you're probably like, what? I didn't know mortgage protection does all of that. But it depends on what type of mortgage protection you have. Like we said, this is having your own mortgage protection in the form of life insurance. And so the one that some of you have to pay for when you purchase a home along with your mortgage, that's for the lender or the bank, wherever is funding you that money, whoever you're paying your mortgage to, it protects them. It
Right.
doesn't protect your family. So we're gonna get into some more of those benefits as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, man.
So many homeowners assume that they're fully protected. What are some common misunderstandings about mortgage protection?
Uh so I think that for the most part, when people purchase a home that they feel like they have, when you get that mortgage, you get all that packet with all that information in it. You know what I'm saying? Like I think a lot of people think that okay, for everything that I need for my mortgage, everything that I need that we've bought this home and we've gotten all that stuff, we've got it all protected and we got it all right here. You know what I mean? But the one thing that we don't think about is death, right? And everything that you have concealed in that packet that you get when you purchase your mortgage has absolutely nothing to do with the death part of it, right?
Right,
And this is what I tell clients when I sit down with them. I say, listen, you are a husband and a wife, or a wife and a wife, and a husband and a husband. It does not matter. There's no discriminatory setups when it comes to this. But when you purchase your home, you purchase that home with two, right? Two salaries. If one of those salaries was to go away, are we still able to maintain the lifestyle that we want to live along with the mortgage, the bills, and all that other stuff? If tragedy was to strike, so a lot of the misunderstanding is that people think that they are protected. You may get a little $100,000 policy here and $100,000 policy there, and think that they're fully equipped and fully protected. And that's just not the case. It's just not the case at all. So mortgage protection is just really, really there to help protect that home for that spouse. And listen, Sonia, I had this happen to a client of mine a while back,
mm,
where her husband passed away. They didn't have enough coverage, on the home. And so guess what they had to end up doing? The home ended up going into foreclosure. So they
dang,
had to uproot the kids. They had to uproot her life, her entire situation, because they just didn't have enough coverage. So the misconception is thinking that you have enough coverage when you really don't, right?
right,
So that's why you've got to sit down with somebody and really, really do your due diligence about how much coverage you actually need to
right.
be able to protect your assets, man. Because you telling you just don't know until that situation comes up.
Yeah, that's one reason why I really push for policy reviews, because a lot of people, purchase their life insurance policy, and again, they assume because they had it for so long that they're covered. But if they go back and look at it, I'm sure you're gonna find something that you forgot about from 20 years ago. you
Right.
know, so
Right.
it doesn't hurt to take a few minutes to just go over your policies with a professional, that's going to explain to you what you have and how it works for you.
How often do you think people do policy reviews, or how often should they do policy reviews?
At least annually.
Yep.
Every year, my clients are going to hear from me. I make it my business to follow them on social media, because if anything happens, I'm going to hit you up before that year. I had one young lady, she got married. I was like, hey, you got coverage on the husband?
Right.
And she got, it ain't been a year yet, but we did a policy review, got
Yeah.
her husband covered, and she added in her mom. So
Yeah.
you stay connected with people so you know when that time may come up where they may need to make changes to their policies.
Speaking of that, I saw this story. This was probably 2 weeks ago, and it was a nationwide story. I don't know if you heard it or not. And I saw some on TikTok where the couple had just got married, and the husband ended up getting killed right after the wedding, literally right after the wedding.
Oh
Right.
my
It
God.
was one of those situations where it was like a road rage thing, and
Mm,
the husband either cut the guy off or something trying to get to the wedding or whatnot, and that guy sat out there and waited for him to come back out and kill the husband right after they had just got married. So you want to talk about getting your affairs in order, guys?
right.
Get your affairs, like, do not wait. to
Right.
get your affairs in order. You need to start doing that stuff now because time waits for no person on this earth.
I don't. That's why I tell people too. They want to wait. I'm like, you want to wait for what? Like, what are we waiting for? It don't get no cheaper the longer you wait.
Listen, when is the best time to get your life insurance policy? Right now.
Right
Get your
now, it don't
policy
get
right
no
now.
cheaper.
Right. There is no, no, I need to wait. No, you walking around here, you a walking ticket for somebody to have to pay for, your expenses. No,
Right.
get your stuff together. Get yourself together. Get that thing done.
That's why I said we spend more time evaluating other insurances than we do for our lives, which is should be the most valuable, should be our priority. Let's see here. Who should consider mortgage protection? Is it only relevant for new homeowners, or does it make sense for everyone with a mortgage?
Yeah, I mean, so definitely new homeowners, you should 100% make sure that you have mortgage protection insurance on your sales for your property, right? Because that means you got the longest time to have a mortgage.
Right.
Um, so you definitely need to make sure that you got that done. But I would say, yeah, it does make sense for everyone to have it. But here's the thing: if we can't qualify medically, you know what I mean, for that particular policy, then hey, that just means that we can't have it. You should already have it set up, but sometimes, hey, things happen where medically we can't get approved and get through underwriting for those certain products. But yeah, I think every person who has a mortgage should have mortgage protection.
Right.
I would even say, even if you can't get approved for the actual mortgage protection plan, you need to have some accidental death coverage to help pay for the mortgage protection, just in case an accident happens. Right? Yo, I lived in Atlanta, Georgia, for 6 years. Every day, there was somebody
Right.
that passed away in an accident that didn't make it home, that went to work that morning and did not make it to the house. So even if you can't qualify for the actual mortgage protection plan, get an accidental death plan for the amount of the mortgage, right? And you can do return of premium accidental death too, y'all. So just like, hey, there's products out there that you can use to still make sure that you have your mortgage covered. But yeah, man, I just feel like anybody who has a mortgage in some form or some fashion should have mortgage protection. It's just not for the young people. It's for the people that's in their 50s and 60s too. All right.
Right.
You definitely, if you still owe a mortgage, you need to get it protected.
Right.
Definitely get that thing protected, man.
I tell people too, like sometimes they don't qualify for the amount that they need. Like if the house
Mhm.
is 300,000, they might can't get 300,000 due to budget or whatever. So I tell them we might can't pay the entire mortgage off, but if you could buy your wife or your husband 6 months of mortgage after you pass away, that's
Mhm.
better than having to, get put out before the 6 months. So putting something in place is always better than having nothing in place. So
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah,
yeah,
time is everything. Like you having 6 months to kind of breathe and then figure out exactly what you want to do with the home, or however you want to set that up. That is, like, that's awesome to have that. Like, people don't realize how important and how valuable that is. You know,
right,
I get, I don't know if you had on clients, but I had those clients that say, well, I need 300,000. Well, you can't qualify for 300,000. You only qualify for 150, or you can only afford 150. Well,
right,
I don't want it then. So you mean to tell me, in the event something happens to you, you're not gonna have anything to go towards the mortgage?
mhm,
Tell me where that makes sense. Who are you hurting in that situation?
right. That's what you got to do. You can't be afraid to, I say put it in their face. Put the paint the picture for them because they're not thinking about that right now. Right
Mhm.
now they're thinking about I got to pay this much to get this. They're not thinking about the long term. So
Oh
let's
my
see. One of the biggest reasons for foreclosure in the United States is due to a medical condition, and that's facts, y'all. And that brings me to the next question too. What are the living benefits and how do they work in conjunction with mortgage protection policies?
Man, listen, y'all, I'm telling y'all, I'm gonna tell y'all a story when I get done explaining this thing. But I mean, listen, the living benefits, yo, it is a game changer, right? Like my man said, people lose their homes all the time. Foreclosures happen all the time due to medical constraints, not being able to pay the medical bills or having to either dip in your retirement to pay for your medical bills, right? Because guess what? Them bills pile up and they ain't cheap. So the living benefits are set up to be able to help you pay for some of those medical situations, right? So you can actually use your life insurance policy while you are still alive. I mean, we get up to 80% of your life insurance policy while you're still living, um, to use that to take care of your medical bills, long-term care. I mean, however you see fit, you have the option to be able to monetarily take care of your situation with the living benefits, right? So the living benefits are if you get diagnosed with cancer, heart attack, stroke, end-stage renal failure, aneurysms, any of what I call like the big uglies, right? You get diagnosed with any of the big uglies, then you have access to your policy while you are still alive. That is huge. That is
Right.
huge. And so my advice to everybody that's listening right now, if you got an old life insurance policy, trade it in and get you one that's new. Like get the 2024 Beamer, right? Trade in the 1997, 2 series and get you a brand new one, right? That's what this is. Get the new insurance, y'all. The one that's going to take care of you from every aspect, not only just death, but also sickness and health, right? So those are what living benefits are.
Right. As I tell people too, I'm like, people get life insurance and they instantly only think about the death part. And I'm like, look, there are worse scenarios you could be in than dead. you know, some people would rather be unalive than to live with certain types of ailments. So, and we don't think about that unless we've experienced with an older loved one or until we're in that situation ourselves. So,
Yeah. Right. Right.
benefits and that kills another myth because a lot of people think that term insurance don't have living benefits, but there are some term products that come with some living benefits.
Oh,
Um,
no doubt.
it's important for you to know what you got.
Facts. Yeah, there are several companies that offer term living benefits. I mean,
Right.
not only the living benefits, but you got also benefits like common carrier riders, where if you pass away in an Uber or airplane, anything where you pay a fare, it pays out an additional $300,000. That's included in the policy already, right?
Oh, that's
Yeah, I mean, so there,
it's
yeah,
dead.
so I
Potential.
know. So there are all kinds of living or benefits that are inclusive with these plans and setups, guys. You just got to do your homework and make sure you find you a good licensed agent that's going to actually go through the proper steps to help you find exactly what it is that you need instead of trying to find somebody who's just out to sell you a policy and crap on you in the next 20 to 30 years.
Right. Yeah, y'all see me looking around. I'm not tripping. I'm watching the screen because I'm trying to keep up with the comments. I don't want to miss anybody, and also keeping up with other stuff that's going on
You
the
know,
back.
but some mind. So I'll tell my story real quick.
Yeah,
So
take your
I
time.
had a client. This was about 8 months ago. I had a client. I had wrote a policy for a $450,000 term policy with living benefits. He was
Okay.
healthy, no issues, no medical, no nothing. Got approved instantly. Um, Found out on Facebook he got diagnosed with cancer over a year ago. And I was like, dude, why you didn't hit me up? Why you didn't call me and tell me? I told you about this policy that you got, right? And he was telling me about how it was a struggle. His wife had to stop working because she had to kind of help take care of him and all
Mhm.
that stuff. Yo, we put in a file, we filed a claim. They sent him a check for $250,000
Wow.
out of his policy to help recoup some of that money that they had to spend from his wife not being able to work. So they was able to pay the mortgage off. pay
Mhm.
a vehicle off, and then he was able to take his wife on like a 10-day vacation just because she spent so much time with him trying to nurse him back to health. So that's the power of the living benefits, man. Y'all better get you some.
He said, you better get you some. We got another comment. Divorce or separation. The end of a relationship could lead to a loss of income and increased financial strain, making it difficult to manage mortgage payments. Having the right insurance in place can help you supplement your income while you are alive. Hence why it's called life insurance, y'all. Like we try to tell people it's not for the dead
Not
only.
death insurance. It ain't just death insurance.
Right.
It's
But you
life.
said something real powerful though, like you said, those living benefits, they really come into play, y'all. And then you said he got diagnosed like a year ago, right?
Yep.
He was still able to make that claim. He didn't have no time limit.
Nope.
That's dope because some of them be like, you gotta
They
file
do
the
it
claim.
within a certain period of time. Yeah, no, this was over a year, and we were able
Wow.
to submit that claim, and yeah, and really it was no issues. I was like, well, thank goodness for that.
Right, right.
Hmm.
It's
Yep,
better to have it in place and need it than to need it and not have it, y'all.
that's a fact.
Well, you just told the story and shared the example already. So skip that one. Are
Uh,
there any costs or limitations homeowners should be aware of when it comes to living benefits?
well, so sometimes, I mean, depending on the company, but as far as are there any cost or limitations homeowners should be aware of? No, I mean,
I guess
cost.
no deductibles and stuff like that.
No, I mean, nothing that I've come across. Maybe you have, but I haven't come across none of that. Right? I hadn't seen any of those issues when it comes
Right,
to
right.
on living benefits. None of that stuff, y'all. Listen, if you get diagnosed, here's the beautiful part of it. If you get medically diagnosed, and listen, I'm not talking about your home brew diagnosis. You go into a family or friend giving you some remedies and saying, yeah, you got this or what. No, I mean actual medical data and diagnoses of a medical trained medical professional saying that you have been diagnosed with one of these critical or terminal illnesses. Once you have that paperwork in hand, you can file that paperwork and go get it done. The great thing I love about, like I said, with me dealing with my client, it was over a year, and we were still able to find, get that proof, get that stuff written and submit it so that he can get that check. So in terms of time limitations, no, it was not a
Right.
time limitation. Deductibles and all that stuff. No, listen, you don't have to have the policy in force for a certain period of time, or none of that good jazz. Once you get qualified for that policy, the next day, if you get diagnosed, you got access. You got
Mm.
access.
It's
And
that
that's the
fast.
beautiful part. Beautiful. And listen, you gotta understand this too. Like, that's gonna be a tough time. Like, because you're gonna be mentally going through it, you're gonna be physically going through it, financially going through it. So
Right.
you need some type of positive bump in your life. And that's what the living benefits are able to afford you. And it's
Mm.
one price, it's not separated, it's not your insurance policy and then another premium you got to pay on top of that. No, it is all built inclusive to your life insurance policy, right? Because I know when people they be seeing like them 2 or 3 charges, like, whoa, what's this? What I got charged with this, and then you got another charge here, and another charge that. No, baby, that all them living benefits and that policy, they are all included together. That's
Right.
it, right? So yeah, no limitations, no deductibles, like none of that. You got it, you got it.
Oh wow. And that's one thing that I love about it. She got a question. She says, if you implement your living benefits, does that cancel the policy?
Absolutely not, because you got to think you're only getting up to 80% of the balance. Right? I think that's the most, at least from the companies I've worked with, you've only been able to get about 80%. So they're
Yeah.
not going to allow you to take the entire amount of the policy. So it's not going to be the whole policy in totality. It's just going to be a portion of the worth of that policy. Now, let me say this to you guys too. If you get diagnosed and you take that money out, your premiums ain't gonna change. Your premiums gonna still be the same.
Right. Unique says that there are some companies that actually matches the death benefit, so they
Yeah,
can use up to 100%
yeah,
of their of their death benefit.
right.
So then in that case, if you use all the money, you ain't got no death
You got
benefit
nothing
left.
left. Absolutely. Yeah. What's done is done. But hey, if you're gonna like I would only do that if like, they told me I had a terminal illness. If they told me
Right,
I was terminally ill and hey, I was gonna pass away within a year. Yeah, give me the whole 100%. I can set aside 25,000 or 30,000 or whatever. But for the rest of that, I'm gonna
funeral,
live for the year.
live it up.
Mhm.
I know that's right. So, does mortgage protection guarantee that a mortgage will be fully paid off in case of an emergency? And what factors influence the payout?
So as far as like you had stated earlier, you can either set your mortgage protection plan up to where it can pay your mortgage off in full, or you can pay it off in half, or you can pay a quarter off, or six, just get 6 months worth of payment, whatever the case may be in terms of that. The living benefits. Now, having mortgage protection doesn't guarantee you're gonna pay the entire mortgage off, right?
Right,
It's just whatever you decide to set up as far as your protection payment plan or your protection policy plan. So if your mortgage is 450,000 and you owe 25 years and you get a $500,000, mortgage protection plan for the next 30 years, something happens to you within that 30-year plan, guess what? Yeah, it pays the entire mortgage off. Right. So
right,
you're good. So you're good in that sense. So it varies based off of, where you are financially, how much you want to put back towards that particular policy, and then how much coverage, and then how much time you want
mm,
to cover that mortgage for. So in some cases, yes, you can definitely cover the entire mortgage and guarantee to pay that thing off in the event something happens to you. The living benefits just gives you a portion of the policy in terms of your medical situation. So you have to look at all those factors and figure out which ones works best for you. So like when I sit down with my clients and we're talking about mortgage protection, I want to know everything. How much you owe on the mortgage. What's the payments, taxes, because you got to include all of that when it comes to you figuring out how much mortgage protection you need, and then how
right,
much time you have left on the mortgage, right? So yeah, that's kind of how you set that up. But yeah, it can pay the whole mortgage off, but it's not guaranteed to.
right. And then keep in mind, like you said in the beginning, mortgage protection is a fancy word for insurance, term insurance. So you're leaving this money to either your lender or you're gonna leave it to your beneficiary, which is your family.
Right,
The good thing about it is when this money is paid out to your family, let's say they don't want the house, they're not stuck. They still have access to this cash and they can do what they want to do with it.
right.
But the great thing is you didn't leave them in a position where they didn't have a choice.
That part.
So that's why it's that cushion, man. It's that thing that's going to be in place for when and if something happens
Right.
outside of death.
You know what too, and then I always get the people that say, well, why would I get mortgage protection? Like I can't get the money back if I outlive the home. I said, well, ma'am, let me ask you this: once you pay your mortgage off, do you need the mortgage protection? No, you don't need the mortgage protection. You're only getting the mortgage protection to protect the mortgage. So that's what it serves a purpose. The purpose of that coverage is to be there to pay off the mortgage or half the mortgage or some of the mortgage in the
Right.
event you pass away. That's it. Once you get to the point where you paid that mortgage off, guess what? The mortgage protection served it served its its job. It did its job.
Yep. And that's a
You
big
didn't need it. So
more.
therefore you good. Thank God you didn't have to use it. Duh.
Yeah, that's a good thing because just like paying car insurance, we don't go out here and get into accidents on purpose just to use it, but we got to
Right.
keep paying for it, right?
Exactly. I'm like, well, I want my money back. Okay. Oh my gosh. So you want to use the policy? Is that is that what I'm hearing? Well, what's the point of getting it? The point is for if you were to pass away prematurely, so your spouse and your kids don't have to, regroup and figure out how they're gonna do life
Right.
without your income being there. That's
Right.
why you do it.
That's
Come on,
exactly.
King. Where my kings at? Stand up.
So, oh man. So it says, what happens if the homeowner passes away or becomes seriously ill, but their mortgage has almost been paid off? Is it still beneficial to have mortgage protection with living benefits?
100%. That makes it better. Because now
Right.
you got the money, you could do whatever it is that you want to do with it. Spouse, if your husband or your wife passes away, but you've already passed or paid the mortgage off, for 250,000, guess what? You got a check for $250,000 coming your way tax free.
Tax
That
free.
you can do whatever it is you want to do with it.
You can go buy another house if you want to.
Right. You need an investment property? Go get you an
Right.
investment property.
Yeah.
Right?
That's one of the main differences between, your common MPI versus having your mortgage protection life
Yeah.
insurance,
Yes.
because that money is there for your family regardless.
Yep.
We got
Yep.
another comment here. It's important to have all three insurance when you have a mortgage. One protects the lender in the event of you defaulting on your loan. Second is protects the home in case of a catastrophic event,
Flood.
floods,
Mhm.
fire, earthquakes, and we just experienced that. Some people worse than others, but y'all know what happens. And third, protects you, the homeowner, in the event of an early death. And that's
Absolutely.
where this private mortgage insurance comes into place because, like you said, your mortgage gonna start off at one amount, but the longer you live, you're paying it off. You still have this coverage in place, and they can use it however they need, however they see fit. If the mortgage is already paid off. Do you believe everyone should have multiple policies such as term, whole life, and IUL?
I believe everybody should have policies they can afford.
That part.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
That's just me being honest. Like I believe that everybody should have policies in place that they can afford. Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I have a term policy. I also have an IUL, right?
Mhm.
But I have those in place because a I know why I have it in place. I have a goal that I'm trying to comprehend for my kids and my lineage and things like that.
Right.
But yeah, I think that everybody should be passing some type of monetary gain down to their beneficiary, but you have to do it in a sense that is operable to your financial situation.
Right.
The one of the biggest reasons that people don't pass down money is because they can't afford it, and they let the policy lapse.
Right.
So, you have to do what you have that is within your means. Like when I meet y'all, we meet with people all the time and they want $1 million policy. I met with a lady today. She's like, "Y'all want a $500,000 whole life policy." She's 47 years old. I'm like, come on,
What you do
man.
for a living?
Come on, man. They're talking about, well, I ain't got no whole lot of money to work with. And I'm like, what? Oh gosh. All
And
right,
that's
let's
the
figure it
thing.
out.
You can't negotiate these prices.
No, there is no
Try to get less
negotiation.
coverage. I don't know what to tell you because
Right.
we don't make these prices.
But yeah, no, I love the concept of having a term policy and then some type of permanent policy set up, because you got to think about it. Term is for if you pass away prematurely. Permanent life insurance is for when you
Mhm.
pass away. It's the protection and the safeguard to for your family for when you pass away. Because make no mistake about it, two things that we'll never get away with is death and taxes. We're gonna have to deal with it at some point in time.
Yep, that's the truth. Let me see what it was. Something I was gonna say. I thought I was gonna say about this one. Okay, we probably covered it all. God knows, because you covered a lot in the beginning. Let's see. Okay. Are there situations where mortgage protection doesn't apply or fails to protect the homeowner's family?
Yeah, I mean, lapsing the policy 100%.
Right?
That will 100% negate mortgage protection. And that's the sad thing is that you find that happening. I don't want to say it happens, all the time, but it happens a lot where a death happens right in the middle of a lapse situation where somebody just let the policy go, and then all of a sudden something happens, accident, whatever the case may be, and now the family is not protected. That mortgage is not protected. You know what I mean?
Mm,
So that's a big thing, letting your policy lapse. Y'all, I'm gonna say this about lapse and policies. Um, we never judge you, because you let your policy lapse. Like we get it. Life happens,
right.
right? Your thing is, listen, if a policy lapses on you, hey, listen, this month's been tough, it's been tight. Let's figure out a way to help you. Let's lower your premium so that way we still have you some coverage in there. So that way you don't lose your policy. Because
Right.
man, listen, you never know. You just never know. When it comes to that. So yeah, there are some situations where mortgage protection won't be able to apply to, but not much, at least in my opinion. You let me know what you think.
I mean, I agree. It's just a matter of, like you said, life happens. But if you communicate, then we can try to help you. Um, Waiting for it to actually lapse. I had a lady just call me last night, and she was like, I called her a couple months ago because her policy already lapsed, right? And so she calls me last night asking to change her banking information. And I was like, well, I can't do it. I said, but we can call tomorrow and get on the phone and see what we can do. Because sometimes, they say 30-day grace period, but they give you a little bit more grace sometimes you're trying to reinstate it.
Right.
But you don't know until you ask. And how do I know this? Because I've been there before, y'all, where I can't pay my bills on time. I'm going to call them, be like, look, help me. Can I
Right.
please set up
Right.
a payment arrangement for this? I mean,
Yeah.
closed
Yeah.
mouths don't get fed. I've been there. We understand. We're not here to judge. We are just here to try to help you keep everything, in place, because when you got it, it was important. So we assume it's important to you. So it's our job to help you keep it in place. But you got to make the payments. There's no way around it.
I can help you with everything but that.
Right, right.
Yeah, can't help you with that one. Sorry.
How do you educate clients about the advantages of mortgage protection with living benefits, especially if they're unfamiliar with it? Like, what is like that elevator pitch, to get somebody questioning?
Yeah, so here's the thing. Education is critical. I actually just did this today. I was meeting with a young lady, and she said she had a policy already. The thing I always ask people to do when they say they have a policy, I say, hey, so tell me about your policy. I'm going to try to get you to open up and start talking about what you know about your policy, right? Because I want to know if you're knowledgeable of even what you got. But when it comes to educating people, I just say, hey, listen, let me ask you this. Do you have the old life insurance or the new one? Well, what does
Hmm.
that mean? So the new life insurance not only protects you in death, but it also protects you while you are living, right? Does your policy does it do that for you? Well, I don't know. Well, let's talk about it. So you got two forms of life insurance coverage. You've got term and then you have permanent. Both great policies. One just covers you for the long haul. One covers you for a certain period of time, but it also is good for your mortgage. In the event you pass away prematurely, it completely pays the mortgage off. I've
Right.
never heard of that. Exactly. I know, right? Is that not crazy? Well, listen, hey, let's have 15 minutes and let's talk about it. And then we just start educating them about how that policy works.
Right.
That's not, it's simple. It's simple, y'all. Like it really is simple. Don't make it
Right.
complicated. It's simple.
And I think that's what a lot of people do. They overcomplicate it. They overthink it when it's just simple.
You can't get, hey, you pass away, it pays the mortgage off. You get
Right.
you got access to it while you're still living to help pay some of your bills off and possibly pay some of the mortgage off. All right.
Exactly.
It's protection plan. That's why they call it mortgage protection.
It's not a trick, y'all. It is what it is. So, do you see mortgage protection with living benefits becoming more popular in the industry, or you think it's still a niche product?
So I'm starting to see it become very popularized on social media. Why? Because now a lot of agents have found their home on social media. So now you're starting to see a lot of other people broadcast the living benefits. But on the other side of that too, you're also seeing the other companies without the living benefits, kind of try to down talk those particular type of policies, right? So it is getting a lot of a lot of advertisement now, because you've got people on both sides, kind of putting their pieces out there, putting their parts out there, why they should get it versus why you shouldn't get it. And I just think that it serves a place there. This industry is here to stay. And I think that the living benefit policies are going to overrun those other companies. Actually, I'll tell you what I think is going to happen. I think
Uh-oh.
that I think that other company is going to add living benefits to their policy now.
They're
Mhm.
gonna have to. Because it's like at some point nobody's gonna want the regular policies no more. They're gonna want the new ones.
Yep. So they're going to add some living benefits at some point in time.
Right. So we're gonna switch gears just a little bit. I know you said you recently started really, scaling your business with the recruiting.
Mhm.
And so it's really picked up lately, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
What do you think you've been doing different than, before?
So well, I when I first got into the business, like that wasn't my thing. I was like, I don't really, just like everybody else, I ain't trying to do that. I don't want to do the recruiting thing. That's not me. I just want to sell policies and just help people.
Right.
But then I started to see, the other side of that coin, how people were making, 30, $40,000 a month, and I was like, okay, well, dang, well, how can I do that? Um, so thank God I did run into TikTok. Look, I'm praying that the government doesn't do any funny business with it to shut it down. But I was just able to really, really figure out social media, and then I figured out the more I as much as I can have my face seen on
Mhm.
social media, people will eventually start to gravitate to you because you're knowledgeable, and you make it easy to understand some of these concepts that used to be hard to understand. And
Right.
so people want to start working with you because hey, they see you doing what you're doing. And that's what, when I saw that, I just instantly started to figure out, okay, I'm going to start posting social media content related to how we get compensated, so that people will see this is how we get paid. Oh, y'all get paid like that? Yeah, that's how we get paid. Oh, but you got to do. Oh, but I got to work.
You gotta
Yeah,
work.
work. Right.
I ain't just clock in on this job. You gotta
It
work.
ain't, yeah, it ain't easy, right? But no, so I started posting some content, about stuff like that. And the next thing I know, I got like 5 or 6 people on my calendar. Hey, man, I want to get my license. Can you show me how to get it done? And then from there, I just started showing my agents how to do the same exact thing. Because
Right.
the one thing that I had to learn was you can get as wide as far as you bringing in all the people that you want to, but to scale your business, you got to get wide and you have to get deep, right?
Mhm.
Getting wide is what creates it's profitable, right?
Mhm.
Why that's going to be profitable. But getting your business to become stable is you getting depth. That means that your agency is starting to get deep. That means your agents are bringing on other agents. That's what creates stability. That's what social media did for me, because I
Mhm.
was able to show my agents how to basically start to build their agency from TikTok, man, and that just exploded. And that's kind of how we started to scale.
That's what's up. I know I've definitely found my niche with the social media. I mean, I love marketing. I love in person networking, all of that. But I mean, you can't overlook social media and how it just gives you the ability to reach so many people from just being in one spot.
Absolutely. It's like casting a net of just so much potential. Everything that you
Right,
pull up is just potential. Cast a wide net and put it out there.
right. So right now, you do your own hiring and all of that. Like you're
Yeah.
the one man show.
Woo. Listen, good gracious. I do. It's just me. It's me. I'm hiring, I'm training, I'm onboarding. I'm doing everything. And I'm gonna tell you something. The one thing you gotta learn how to do is delegate responsibility in this business. Like once you
Right.
get to the point where you get big enough to where you can hire people, like you're gonna find out $12 to $15 an hour is
And
gonna actually make you way more money than what you think you're losing.
right,
You know
right.
what I'm saying? So I would say to anybody, look, I haven't gotten there just yet. I'm almost there. But if you can get you an assistant, pay that assistant $12 to $15 an hour to
Mm,
do like your pendings, calling the carriers and doing all that stuff. So you ain't got to do that. You can make the main thing the main thing.
right,
If you can do that, that's another thing that's going to help you scale your business.
right. I agree. And like I said, I've always believed in recruiting people or partnering with people. It just depends on where you at, because if you're until you're confident in what you're doing, you're not gonna want to tell people about what you do. And
Right.
so when I get that rebuttal from my partners, I'm like, okay, so you don't want to recruit. How did you find out about the opportunity? You
Right.
know?
Right.
And if nobody told you, would you have known? Like, so it's not, we have to look at it. I tell them, if you don't want the responsibility of them being like your downline, talk to me.
Yeah.
I could take them. I could put them with another agent that want them.
Right.
But let's not rob people of the opportunity, because this is an opportunity of a lifetime. And it's the easy way to get into it. Considering going to college for 6, 8 years, you know, this is very easy to get into. And you make your money back with writing one
Wow.
policy. I don't care where you at. You write one policy, you should make your money back.
Right.
Okay.
That's their policy and make your money back.
Right, right.
You know what I'm saying? Absolutely. Now I agree with you on that. Very, very low entrance in terms of barriers and all that stuff.
Right.
And yeah, I listen, we preach this. Don't be a secret agent.
Yes.
Don't be
Yes.
a secret agent. Like you said, somebody brought you into the business because maybe you're and another thing too is don't count somebody else's pockets. Like,
Mm.
you through your phone and say, "Oh yeah, I know they ain't gonna be interested. Oh yeah, they work full time. I know they ain't gonna be." You don't know that person could have been at the job saying, "Man, I hate this. I need something else." You just don't know. So don't be a secret agent and don't count anybody else's pockets. Like when I started scaling and building, I went to my cell to all my contacts and I said, "Hey, got a business opportunity. I think you'll be great at it. Hit me up." That was it.
That was it. Oh, y'all got that nugget? Y'all might have to hit rewind after this post or whatever. But it's again keeping it simple. And you never know, like that one person that's not interested, they might know somebody that's interested.
Yep.
Like you got to think past the person that you're connected to, because who you're connected to is connected to somebody else, connected to somebody else. So you never know who you're gonna reach, man. So definitely don't count anybody out. And I'm guilty of that because I've had my phone had this same phone number forever. So it's like I will never go through and text everybody in my phone. I would handpick them.
Yeah.
But that's gonna be my challenge this month, is to send everybody on my phone a message about if they want to hear about the opportunity.
Hey, send a message. Hey, got a great opportunity. Think you'll be great at it. Hit me up.
Right.
That's it. Some gonna respond, some won't, some not.
Exactly. And that's all right with me, because I don't know why I'm afraid to do it, because I'm not afraid of rejection.
Right.
It's I don't know, but I'm gonna do it, and I'm gonna let everybody know how that went.
Keep us posted.
Yes. You got anything else you wanted to add or talk about?
No, man, this is exciting. Yeah, I hope you guys, see the passion that we have and for what we do. Like we really are passionate people. Like, and here's the thing too, like another thing, like I wouldn't be on this call today if it wasn't for social media. So if you're not using social media, use social media. Like, don't be afraid. Like, it doesn't matter what your voice sounds like, none of that stuff. Just I had an agent. Matter of fact, just yesterday, I sent her a text. She called me, was like, "Oh my God, I did my video today, and all that, but I ain't posted." I'm like, what's the point?
That's
What's the
progress.
Oh my God. She's like, yeah, I went and got my wig done and did all this stuff. And hey, I created it. So I texted this morning. I said, post the damn video. just, just encouragement. But I just say that to say that, man, listen, social media is a powerful tool. it's like a web of connections. Like Sonya said, you just never know who you're gonna run into that knows somebody that knows somebody. Like y'all, there are $1 million producers that don't know that they're $1 million producers yet, and
Mm,
they won't know it until somebody introduces them into the business. So
mm,
like keep your options open, keep your mind open. Don't be a secret agent. Start putting that stuff out there, because all it takes is for you to find four people that is willing to go crazy in this business, and you will never work again.
mm. I hit the magic number is for y'all.
You find four, you can scale it with four people that just go crazy,
Right.
and you'll be able to live your dreams however you want to live it.
Wow. And people, I wouldn't have believed it if I wasn't in this industry, y'all. Like I slept on it for the first few years. I really did, but it's real. It's so real, and it's legal and legit. Yes, sir.
They make you get a license.
Yes, get your license, and y'all can do this too. Um, so yeah, if y'all are looking for an opportunity, if you know anybody that's looking for an opportunity, don't hesitate to hit up the Fly Insurance guy or hit me up. Tell the people how to find you, Fly guy.
Yeah, man. So of course you can definitely find me on TikTok. That's where my office is located. So definitely reach out to me on TikTok. You can put in the search handle the Fly Insurance Guy, or you can look up John B. Money, right? So either way would direct you right to me. And then of course I'm also on Facebook as well at John R. Beverly Jr. So those are my two offices are located social media wise on Facebook and TikTok. So that's how you guys find me.
That's what's up. Well, I appreciate you again for coming back, and I'm sure we'll have a third one coming in the making.
It's already in the plans.
Yes. All right. So y'all connect and stay tuned. I did just do my giveaway for reaching the first 100 subscribers. Now we're working on our, the second set. So once I hit 200, I will be giving away another cash prize. So y'all tap in, make sure y'all share the lives, and make sure you hit that subscribe button. Thank you,
Absolutely.
John, for tonight, and thank y'all for tuning in. See y'all next week, same time, same place.